What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 257, and we are here with Orthworms Anonymous. The full clan is here. Joined today by my wonderful co-host Carter, and of course we have the beautiful, wonderful Bruno here as well. Say hello.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
So longtime listeners know that we talk about you all the time. Do you want to actually introduce yourself and talk about who you are, what you do, all that good stuff for those who don't know you?
Yeah, sure. I'm Bruno. My name. I always introduce myself as. It's always weird to introduce myself as Bruno, even though it's my last name, and that's what literally everybody calls me. But yeah, everybody calls me Bruno, so that's cool. So you can call me Bruno. Yeah, I'm a music producer, musician, live here in Atlanta. I play VGC badly.
Hell yeah, same.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on the glove though. I like to think so, but I'm a trick room guy. Jared, the freaking Orthworm guys back in Fortnite ago. It's been a minute. I miss our worm days. But,
Yeah, me too.
I like clicking, follow me, expanding force. I'm a simple man.
Simple man with simple desires.
It's high quality taste as well. I am a huge stan of expanding force teams. I love size spam. So
it's not toxic. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
Absolutely not. I don't understand the hate it gets. Incineroar exists. It's a thing.
It's a natural check.
I don't understand what the complaint is.
Yeah, it just doesn't like to take a choice specs terrifying eruption from my Torkoal, but still,
it's fine.
Yeah.
That's their problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Switch it in. That's fine.
So I think one of the big reasons we wanted to have you on is obviously we've talked about you forever. You and I have met multiple times, hung out multiple times. You and I have done light team building together, and it just, you and I seem like we click with this game on the same page in very, very similar styles. And so anytime it's just oh, I don't know what to play. What's Bruno doing? And the question's always the same. It's just expanding for stuff.
Basically. Or whack stuff. I've been known to run some wacky, stupid stuff.
Yes, also same. So there's been many times just man, I know this team's not optimal, but it's fucking funny, so I'm gonna do it.
That's how I live my life, yeah, basically.
Live it on the edge, because you bring the optimal stuff and then you get smashed, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You make your legend by using the fun stuff.
Yeah, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Urshifu is just it's just it's boring, man.
No, it's Orthworm, Gyarados, Dragonite. That's what we're on. All right, we know what we're talking about over here.
Yes, we click bulldoze and keep the worm alive.
We're feasting on Ting-Lu being back this format. Let me tell you.
It's not bad. Dawei proved it in San Antonio. It's still
absolutely not.
Really good.
Those Dozo cores with Ting-Lu are so strong and so bulky. We're talking about this in terms of the worm, and I don't think that the worm is here for this format, but I do think that its partners are. I think that some of its OG teammates are definitely back. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Is there a global challenge this weekend?
Now.
There is.
As we're recording it, yes.
This is literally the first time hearing of it.
I would not have known if I didn't see one random tweet of somebody getting hard closed team cheated.
I opened Twitter and my first thing is Bruno's tweet talking about him going 7-8 today. So that's how I found out there's a global challenge this weekend. Is Bruno's on Twitter.
Thanks for the reminder, buddy. Had a great run yesterday,
and then not so much. But
what are we playing this weekend?
That was the run.
What are we playing, Bruno?
When are we putting this out?
This will be Monday.
All right, yeah. Perfect. So I'm playing Kyogre. I'm not first off. I have pretty much a rule where as much of a hard trick room, like lover. I don't know what to say. Like
Stan.
yeah, like
Aficionado.
aficionado. I mean, devotee, whatever you want to say. Like I love it so much, but I hate playing it in closed team sheet best of one.
Absolutely.
So many random things have taunt. So many random things have in prison. I'm not about that. I can't do it. I'm not cut out for this. So we
you played in Sword and Shield, right?
Yeah.
So like you got to experience that on like wide scale.
Oh yeah.
My first tournament in Sword and Shield, I got to play Ashton Cox. It's just like, man, this looks like a Trick Room team, but I don't see a Trick Room setter. It's like, all right, here's Jellison. Like, oh yeah, that has access.
Dude, me and him, because he's a good buddy of mine, we've been like texting, and like the stupid stuff he's including in his run is amazing. Also, the team he's been playing is absolutely hilarious. I don't know if I want to say it all, but I will say that he does have a Imprison Glacial Lance Trick Room Smeargle. Because his team hates Ice Horse, and that's his Ice Horse answer. As far as I
That might be
know,
the hardest like Cali Ice counter I've ever heard of in my life.
as far as I know, I think he went 13-2 day one or 14-1
That's
day
insane.
one.
That's so funny.
And Smeargle has 4 Glacial Lance KOs.
Unreal.
So
absurd.
I don't feel bad giving away the sauce because only he would run this, and this is coming out Monday. So who
100%,
cares?
yes.
This has to be skill diff.
Oh yeah.
There's no other answer to this question.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But I'm running Torn Ogre. It's actually I took the 3rd place Japan Nats team, which was a Covert Cloak Kyogre with Blizzard and Snowscape on Torn. So it all looks standard, but there's little twists in it that is enough to catch people off guard.
Is it Terra Ice?
It is Terra Ice, yeah.
Yes, I love that.
I was crushing it all week, and then I go to play the GC, and it just all fell apart day one. I'm like, oh my god, why? I was like 20-3 on ladder, just loving life. Like, yeah, we're killing it, and then wasn't happening.
It's like Articuno, but like with good stats and good natural typing, and it also still has water spout.
Oh yeah, so like you switching the sun on me, I'm gonna click Snowscape anyway. And
Like,
it's like,
yeah,
okay,
sure.
well, I can just spout in the snow. I don't care.
Like get dunked on, nerd.
That's
What did you
that's
expect?
awesome.
Yeah, it's not as strong as the rain, but it's also not as weak as it is in the sun. It's a win-win.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a very fair way of thinking about it. It's like it's still gonna do a metric ton of damage.
Everybody and their brother leads Rillaboom into me and fakes out in my Kyogre, and I say, no, you don't. And I just tailwind, usually like water turn
gosh.
1. And then turn 2, I'll just click the Snowscape and Terra Ice and say, all right.
Good luck.
And
ice
now
speed
you get
now.
the defense boost too. So
Yep.
now your one big weakness on Kyogre is no longer a weakness at all.
That's so funny.
It's like the best of one evolution of the Calm Mind Leftovers bulky stuff that we saw from a couple weeks ago, except a lot more unhinged. It's like the Cocaine Bear version of that.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a legit team. It's not like I'm playing some crackhead best of one stuff. It's like, dude, this was 3rd place in Japan, which also they play a lot of best of one format, but they also have, like, their finals was still best of 3, and it's still made a solid run, and it's still a very real team. It's just hilarious.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first. Snow's been popular before. I love it. I love seeing the other weathers, and like the dual weather idea on the team too is so cool, and it's definitely something up my alley. I love in a lot of my draft leagues, I have a bunch of dual weather setters. Like I love Prankster Riolu is one of my key guys. So
Jay has won many a draft league match with Riolu. Either doing like weather things or coaching or just
or trick room, in the bullet punch into a weakness policy or something.
I did that one,
which I miss doing that terribly. I miss like Sword and Shield Dynamax protecting.
I miss Dynamax Hatterene, like specifically Hatterene.
Yeah, I miss Dynamax Hatterene with Copycat Liepard, and you just say, for a max guard trick room, and then you just copycat and get into a trick room instantly.
Yeah.
Those were the days, man.
Just makes them miserable.
Incredible.
Yeah, until
We
you
don't
get
we don't
your
have
Dynamax.
tech like that anymore.
Well, I say until your Dynamax gets parting shotted out, and then you magic yourself
Look,
out from
minor
Incineroar.
details.
See, that's why you just use Calyrex Ice. You bullet punch into the weakness policy. You're a +1. You're everyone's happy. Then you get out of Dynamax and you have a spread move, and
Coaching, yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Riolu was one of my favorite prankstermons in Sword and Shield. It was so
Absolutely.
much fun.
Absolutely.
It was so much fun. I miss those days.
yeah.
Which- It is really surprising to me how little bit of like weakness policy we've seen in this format, where like you can have these like bullet punch or like any kind of priority move into proccing a policy on anything, and you just don't see it at all.
Yeah,
Like-
but I think the things that want to get it are just there's so many. Do Cobra Cloak?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Clear
It is a true like evolution of the game as to like where we have gone. And another big part of that is like in Dynamax, you didn't mind taking the extra damage because you're doubling your HP.
Yeah.
It's like losing that incidental amount of HP can and sometimes does matter. Like
it does a lot of damage. I mean,
unironically, yes.
you think about like some of the classic strategies of like Bulldoze with Metagross as or like Bulldoze with Solgaleo as like one of the main ideas. Like that Bulldoze, even from something like a Spectre, is still going to do probably 10 to 15%. Like it doesn't hit that, like it's not nothing. It's definitely sizable damage. So, yeah, I don't know. Weakness policy. I don't think I've seen anything with it.
I could not tell you the last thing I saw.
Maybe like low ladder Calyrex Ice.
Yeah.
Like somebody's just picking up the game after Sword and Shield for the first time.
I've been that guy. I've been there. It's like, ooh, what can I Terra Dragon so I can quick attack with my Sylveon into?
Who was it? I think it was man, it might have been San Antonio last year, I think. Don't quote me on this, but I feel like it was Jin was running weakness policy Blood Moon or something with double kick Farigiraf. And he would kick his in Trick Room, he kicks his own Farigiraf.
I'm gonna look this up. Because do you know what? Like this for some reason does sound very familiar.
I feel
That
like
was a thing for a minute. I can't remember who did it. I'm pretty sure it was Jin.
I feel like I've heard of weakness policy Bear.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't remember the double kick Farigiraf though.
Actually, San Antonio,
that's the part that's funny.
San Antonio last year I ran weakness policy weak armor Armor Rouge with
yes, that's like
with
the one
Earthquake
weakness
Roll
armor.
Moon.
Yeah. It's like the one weak armor mon weakness policy mon we've seen in this game.
Took solid counts weak armor zone team to San Antonio last year, and clicked expanding force even worse for people.
What is Jin's real name? I forgot.
Luke Bauer.
Luke Bauer. Okay, thank you.
This is gonna annoy me. I know that he did it somewhere. I just don't remember where.
No, I don't think he was at San Antonio
Yeah, he was. I'm looking at it right here.
last year.
Yeah. San
It's not
Antonio
coming
last
up
year.
on the VGC standings. To me.
Hold on.
Yeah.
How did he do? He did 170. That's why. Here, hold on.
Please.
Is there a chat in this thing? Is there a chat in Riverside?
Yes, over on the right hand side.
Yep, bottom right
Yeah.
corner.
Oh God, no. I'm clicking buttons badly. Live stream chat? Okay, yeah. Message everyone. Here we go.
Yes, do it.
That took way too long to find.
If it makes you feel any better,
I'm still trying to find it. Okay, I found it.
like I said, yeah, there's the chat, and there's like 6 different chat functions.
And now Carter can pull it up.
Oh yeah, I guess I could.
Oh yeah, this is awesome.
So,
With an Amorous. Oh
Dude.
man.
so I ran Enam, Choice Specs Terraform Enam at Pittsburgh in last year, 24, whatever, after Worlds, and with Rangaroo. Fun fact: Terra Fairy Choice Specs Moonblast Enamorous instruct KO's Golden Go.
That's awesome.
It's the dumbest multiplier.
adore
Instruct
Oranguru.
Moonblast.
I
Okay.
also love the monkey. It is
Amazing.
one of those mons that like I love to play with, but would never play on like a high level.
I love him so
Oh my
much.
gosh, it's so great. And the best part about it, like, is in Draft League, it has like 2 or 3 really great abilities that you can use. You can
Yeah.
use both you can use inner focus, and then it has telepathy, and it has the one where it gives the item.
Symbiosis?
Symbiosis, yeah, and it gives its item. So you could do the weakness policy brutal swing stuff with it, and then give over like a life orb or a choice band or something into a Cali Ice, and
He also gets bulldoze, so you can even do bulldoze
also
weakness
gets
policy stuff.
bulldoze.
The monkey has so many shenanigans built into him. I love Oranguru so much.
What?
And Instruct is
does-
just like one of the most broken moves
Why
of
does
all time as
Springtide
well.
Storm not get affected by rain?
I've had this
What?
meltdown on podcasts before, because in the spring it is the rainiest season of all of them.
This is wild. I'm just
And
learning this now.
A tide is associated with water, and a storm is a bunch of rain. It makes no sense.
This is wild.
It's not accurate in rain. No idea.
The other 3, Sandseer, Bleakwind, whatever the
Wild Bolt. I had to look that one up too.
Yeah. I haven't seen one of them. Those 3 do, but for some reason Enamorous doesn't.
What does Sandseer have to do with rain? The other 3 I get, like, fine, but like, what? Yeah, no, I'm still mad about this one, because Enamorous, what I think would actually have a niche over Fluttermane if this move was 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just
it is
Dazzling Gleam.
It is a stronger Dazzling Gleam from the same exact special attack stat.
Like, dude, getting to play this thing next to Kyogre would be so cool. Like,
and then also the contrary one too.
Yeah.
You could speed boost with Thunderous Therian and click Wild Bolt Storm in the rain as well. I'm mad. Yeah, thanks, Game Freak.
That's our weakness policy rain.
Yeah, thanks, Jin Farai for getting this mad.
So, Bruno, what is I know we had San Antonio this past week. Do you wanna talk on it and like the team you brought there and everything as well?
Yeah, we can. There's not much to my team that hasn't already been said. I took the Tub team from NAIC, the Electabuzz, Blood Moon team, Annihilate, Scarfate kind of stuff, and just have fun with it, man. It's right up my alley. It's fun. It does the things. I am a huge Smeargle fan now. People hate that thing with every bone in their body, and that little beagle brings so much fear into people's hearts. I've realized after this past weekend.
You heard a quick Glacial Lance, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I can sign up for this."
Yeah, but I mean, so there's not much I couldn't say that hasn't been said, right? There's Audie and Alex did a team report after NAIC. I mean, Cybertron, maybe everybody played this team after NAIC. It was one of the coolest teams at NAIC. There are a couple little tweaks. Basically, the whole left side stayed exactly as it is.
Okay.
Like, I don't think I changed anything there. I thought about changing Electabuzz to Terra Dragon, just to be a good Firewater Grass neutral kind of thing.
That was something that we saw in what was that, Reg H G? What are we in now? The one before this one.
It was probably Regulation. Okay, yeah, probably H. Yeah, H.
Well, there also weren't many fairies, but now Fluttermane's back.
That was the big thing. Yeah.
And Fluttermane hurts. So I didn't change that. I thought about Dragon, but I was like, Ghost is fine. I don't think I teared anything on the left side the entire tournament.
That would not surprise me to hear.
I'm fairly certain I did. Maybe Electabuzz once to get out of a jam, but I don't think I did. I mean, Terra Grass on Ape is there to be like, okay, you're gonna rage power away my final gambit. No, you're not. I'm gonna call it, and I'm just gonna final gambit the thing next to you, and then Glacial Lance to you. And then obviously grass on Smeargle is also to follow away the what's we call it?
Spores.
Spores.
Yeah. And my Smeargle was slow and beefy. He actually lives a Surging Strikes without rain or any kind of modifiers. Like
That's wild.
If you're just Scarf, what's we call it? Scarf Urshifu and Don't Terra. I live on like 4.
I know. For Inkay games, one of the final weeks we had was 6 Smeargles.
And that was when I came up with the Malamar games. That was the greatest thing.
Carl went so deep on like his tech with Smeargle. It's like, yeah, this is able to live Surging Strikes from the opposing Smeargles if that's something they have, and just like, dude, his conversation with me that week, I'm just like, I don't know how to prep for this. You're on your own. Sorry, dude.
There's its own meta. It's just like, what do you even do?
It's like, you can't run in prison, but like, if you do, what are you imprisoning? Like,
you gotta hope they have some of the same moves you do, because
what is
literally available.
Do you do like half of your team support, like for like the other half offensive? Like what? It's so complicated, and it just, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the call is here. Figure it out.
So I talked to one of my friends during it, and I'm just like, dude, I think I figured out how to game the system. Like, you have one shiny Smeargle, and you show it with some weird set, right? And then you have a second shiny Smeargle with a completely different set. So you have 4 regular Smeargles and 2 shinies, but the 2 shinies are different. And you play one way in game 1, and you play the other one in game 2, and they think you're going to do the same thing. I think that's how you game it. I don't know if he did that.
That's amazing.
I was like thinking like 5 steps ahead on how to game the Smeargle game.
I think Carl's big mistake was he nicknamed his. So it was really easy to see. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw him doing that, I'm just like, oh, now they know what, like, who is who.
Yep.
The whole point of this is to make it super hard to follow.
Yeah.
I would get lost on which Smeargle I would be picking.
That would be my problem. Just like, I don't know, which one is this?
That's also part of the problem, is that when you go to Team Select, you have to look at it and be like, okay, all right, this is the one with Fake Out. Okay, cool. I'm going to leave this one.
Have to have it written down.
Yes.
Have to have it on a notepad somewhere else.
But you have 6 different items, so you can be like, okay, Safety Goggles Smeargle is the one with Glacial Lance. Okay, we're good. Right? You can just like write it all
in. It is in slot 1. If you want this one, click slot 1.
You have to have your own open team sheet. Like, it's
the complicated part is just like, yep, sure, man.
So, on this Smeargle that you brought for this past weekend, something I was wondering, just because it has the Decorate tech on it, in Trick Room, this Smeargle is underspeeding the Calyrex, correct?
Yes. So the way Alex Underhill explained it in his thing is he calls it the conga line. In Trick Room, there are specific speeds. It goes like Smeargle, Farigiraf, Blood Moon, Calyrex.
Perfect.
I want Calyrex getting the last KO so it gets the boost. I want Farigiraf and Ursaluna to do the chip, and then Cali to do the last big damage. Get my my glacial what is it called? Freaking Chilling Nays, and then go from there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was playing Blood Moon Calyrex Ice towards the beginning of the format too, and I was very particular about those speed tiers, and there was a few times where I was like, oh, I wish I had this flipped the other way, and that's always something that I'm very particular about, and it ends up coming up a lot. I always end up like speed creeping my own Pokemon by 1 speed and creating that own little line all the time, and yeah, that's really cool. Seeing the Smeargle pop up a few times last weekend, it was something that I assumed, but I wasn't too sure about.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to ask was the close combat on the Calyrex Ice. I know that was something a little bit more popular this past weekend instead of the high horsepower. How do you feel about the two?
I'm indifferent about it. It feels nice going into a tournament and be like, I have no inaccurate moves. Literally everything get hit. Even though high horsepower is 95%, so it's basically there.
That 5% of the time, it happens every time, though.
I lost set in Orlando 23 to my Mudsdale missing a high horse, which breaks my heart. Mudsdale's one of my favorite Pokemon, and I put him out the pasture. But the original reason that Underhill and Audie did it was because like Pelipper was really big at the time, and obviously it went on to win NAIC with Patrick, which now I have as Pelipper. But close, you can't touch it. If they're wide guard Pelipper, Glacial Lance, high horsepower, you can't touch it. At least with CC, you can at least do some damage to it. I mean, a Decorate CC does a lot to a Pelipper. Like, if I get a +2 just does a decent amount. I mean, Pelipper's, it's not a bulky Pokemon. It's an annoying Pokemon, but it's not bulky. But, like, that was a good way to hit it. So I like close combat on there. And, I mean, honestly, I'm only clicking close combat into, like, Incineroar.
Does it pick up the KO on Incineroar?
Depends on the Incineroar. I mean, +2, yeah. But if I get the Decorate
off, you know, unless it's Terra Ghost, then you know, then it's a different story.
I also feel like if they're Terra Ghost and they haven't Terra'd yet, you just click Glacial Lance and pray.
Yes,
like you make the read that they're going to make the read on you. And like worst case scenario, you just do damage.
I'm picking Glacial Lance 90% of the time anyway.
Like, yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
It's not a big deal, and
especially you don't want the drops too.
Yeah, well, I also have the Annihilate too to scare away Incineroar, and I would lead. I mean, a lot of the games basically, I would lead Annihilate plus Calyrex and be like, "All right, is something going to die, or am I going to get a free coaching off? Your call. You got to figure this one out."
Good lead.
I love Annihilate so much. It is just. It's probably my favorite Pokemon to play with in this generation because it does so much.
It's so versatile.
Like there's like the safety goggles set from like previous formats where it's just like, all right, I'm going to sit here and bulk up and drain punch your thing and like ignore whatever you have going on. And then you have like this choice scarf set where it's just like, all right, I'm just going to Oko something.
Yeah.
Because
it's going to go kamikaze.
Yeah. Because what has, base 130 HP? It's just like, yeah, it's one-shotting anything. Who cares?
There was a set in San Antonio where I led Ape Calyrex, and I forgot what they had. I think maybe it was an Incineroar, and it was like a Terra Grass Incineroar, so I'm like, I'm just going to do the thing. I don't care. So I Final Gambit into it, and they switch, and I click Final Gambit Glacial Lance, because I'm like, I'm probably going to switch into a Moongus. Either way, I win. So I Final Gambit. They swapped the thing into a Moongus. It got a Moongus down to like 6 HP, and then I Glacial Lance, and I'm +1. Then I brought it to Snowball,
perfect.
Out Trick Room. I'm like, all right, have fun.
Just like that, we're off to the races, and
my perfect victory.
Yep.
I love this team.
It's so fun. But going back to changes, since we got off track.
Sorry.
That happens on this podcast. I don't know if you know that.
I know.
That's the name of the game over here.
I'm all for it. I'll play along. So the first one I made was Terra Ghost on Blood Moon. I felt that like I have Decorate, I have Calyrex. Usually Calyrex is in next to Blood Moon. Terra Normal Hyper Voice is nice and stuff, but like man, I feel like I kind of want Terra Ghost mainly for Zamazenta. I was scared of Zamazenta. I didn't play any, but if I Terra Ghost Zamazenta, Body Press becomes null and void. And this was the reasoning at the end of the day. I worked with Underhill a little bit on this for like 2 weeks, and he gave me a lot of insight. I ran things by him. Body Press doesn't exist now. If I get into 1v1 with Ursaluna, Body Press doesn't exist, and then Heavy Slam does like 17% to my Ursaluna. I can just damage trade and Blood Moons and do whatever I want to do. So it was just a check for that straight up. Which I may have teared it once or twice. I teared Calyrex like 95% of the time.
It makes sense.
I did tear. So the original Farigiraf from them was.
Was it ground?
It was ground. You're right. Yeah, it was ground with Terra Blast.
Yeah, a lot of them were to counter the Miraidon stuff because this team outside of the Electabuzz and the Ursaluna, the Miraidon matchup is definitely a little tough.
It is. I
Um,
mean, I have my ape to go boom into it if I want, but like I
yeah,
have to. You have to play a lot of
you
games.
still have to play around it. You know, a lot of the Miraidon teams that we saw this weekend that we were running Tailwind, which wasn't as popular towards the end of the format, if I remember correctly. And yeah, so having those couple of answers on the team definitely helps a lot with that. Um,
And the big thing too with Terra Water was, I mean, and also it's like 50% of Farigaraphs are Terra Water, so I'm not like reinventing the wheel here. But it was Kyogre. I hate like this team
yeah.
doesn't want to play against Kyogre. It's a pain in the butt for us. So like basically my Kyogre thing was like either I'm going to Final Gambit you, or I'm going to Terra Water the Farigiraf and get in Trick Room and pray. But like Farig wasn't really doing much damage because it's a lot of bulk anyway. And then
Yeah.
but that was my thing. And I played one guy with he was Kyogre, and he hits all 7 of his origin pulses, and I'm just like, I can't do anything about that. You have the most accurate whale in the freaking city, so I
have you considered being luckier yourself?
Yeah,
wanted to.
sometimes you get DLC level accuracy for free. Um,
It was the Pokemon that came the least, honestly. It was the least used, it was the least relevant. I toiled a lot with stuff. I knew I was going to keep Terra Water for Kyogre. I thought about maybe Terra Grass, but I'm like, I already got enough stuff for Amoonguss, so I'm not super worried. Um, and then the original was Mental Herb, and I messed with like Citrus. I messed with Rocky Helmet, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to keep Mental Herb on there as just like a team sheet check. I want people to see the team sheet and be like, damn it, I can't taunt into this. And just like I needed something in my pocket just to mess with people. So that's what that was. And then theirs was Terra Ground, Terra Blast, and I think Psychic Noise was the other one. I I almost went Psychic on there. I put Sound Shock. I put Psychic Noise. I put Foul Play. I put Hyper Voice. I put Terra Blast. And I just decided I'm just gonna keep Psychic Noise and Hyper Voice on there. Just to do like big chip damage. Every time I play with it, I kind of really wanted to click Hyper Voice next to
something
calyrex.
something I played early on was like to try to check Cali Shadow was I played Shadow Ball, and it still just felt like it wasn't doing enough damage everywhere else like I wanted it to.
Yeah, Frigg is
Like
just there to be a pain in the butt. He's just there to
yeah.
thwart and enable his teammates. He's not there to do damage. I have
Yeah,
to try to sweep and Trick Room with Callie and Blood Moon.
like especially in like that specific instance, Cali Shadow's not doing a lot to your Farigiraf anyway, so you don't need a direct counter for it when it's already like a hard check.
Yeah,
Like you don't need the Shadow Ball. Just click your Psychic Noise a couple times and it'll be fine.
yeah. And I was just basically like, man, if I have to decorate my Farigiraf to win, I probably lost already. So like, I just need like it's whatever. I just need Farigiraf to just do a little bit of damage, get some damage done on the board, and then let Callie and Blood Moon just sweep.
It needs to break some sashes and that's it. Yep.
100%. Yeah, just Psychic Noise to be annoying. Like ideally, like into Iron Hands, I have like Psychic Noise, and then I have Blood Moon. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to Terra Ghost the Blood Moon, and I'm going to Psychic Noise you, so you can't Drain Punch things, and you have to call it and like Wild Charge into my Blood Moon kind of thing if you want to do damage. So like, basically, that was the kind of the combo for Iron Hands. Did I'm sure I played one, but like I don't even think I did it. I just positioned Blood Moon and just Earth Power that thing into oblivion.
so
I
I
have it pulled up. It doesn't. I don't see hands on your report. Oh no, you played one in round 7.
Did I win?
You did.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
good job.
Then that's what I did.
So
I know what I did because that's what I'm talking about.
I was wondering when it comes to playing, Trick Room in general, and this team, a lot of the concept and the onus is put, like you said, onto your Trick Room mode and onto picking up those KOs, and I sometimes find it a little difficult to put the choice scarf Pokemon in the right place. So a lot of the times it feels like if you're not leading it, you're going to end up with it in the wrong place. So I was wondering, did you find yourself bringing the Annihilate in the back through any of your games? Was that like an approach that you would take into certain matchups?
I know I did it at least once somewhere. I'm so bad at remembering things. Like my run, it's just all a blur. I have my notebook I could probably go grab. There was definitely one match where, like, game one, I led Annihilate, and I just swept. Like, it was just over in like 3 turns. Like, I'm pretty sure I just clicked coaching, protect, and then coaching trick room, and then swapped out for the Smeargle protect, and then just like started going ham.
There's been many a games where it's just like, yeah, so you intimidated me, and now I'm just gonna punch you.
Yeah. There was definitely one game where it was like game 2 of that same set. I'm just like, you think, like, it makes sense that I would do it again, and I probably should, but I'm just going to lead Smeargle Cali now and fake you out in Trick Room and go fast, and then I'm going to have this Annihilate in the back to clean up. I also got into it, and actually, I know exactly where that was. That was my round 6 against the only Terapagos I faced. I got into an end game because his Terapagos was Protect, Substitute, Calm Mind, Starstorm. I got him to burn Terra, I believe, on his Incin early or something like that, and so he couldn't Terra the. This was like game 3, so he couldn't Terra the turtle. And then at the end, I just showed him the turtle, and I'm just like, "You only have Terra Starstorm. I can punch you for days. You cannot touch me." And I just close combated in one. Like, he couldn't do any damage into me. He canceled.
I love that
too.
I'm happy I was able to bring that out too. It's so fun to keep that in the back, especially after toying with somebody in game 1. You get that choice scarf in the perfect position, and you create like that pin where it's like, all right, I have my choice scarf Annihilate here who can final gambit or close combat you, but I also potentially have, my Trick Rooms that are still on the field, and I have my Calyrex Ice or my Ursaluna Bloodmoon, my other threat. How are you going to deal with this? The Annihilate in the end game with Terapagos, obviously, you have the immunity. It's like, all right, I win. This is awesome. This is amazing. This is the best position I could have ever been in. That is a positioning masterclass on your part. So incredible.
I figured out that win con like turn 2 of that game. I'm just like, I just take care of everything else. I just burn Terra. I take care of everything else, and then he can't touch my ape in the end game. So I'm just gonna wait and just take down the turtle.
Hold it in the back.
Yep.
Especially after seeing you lead it and be so dominant, and then not bring it. Your opponent's thinking, okay, they must not have it at all.
Yeah.
It's like they know I'm gonna prep against it. Especially, I took a look at their team. Like, they have the Urshifu, the Fluttermane, the Rillaboom, all as 3 different ways as potentially trying to deal with it. But like, it's still like, how do you potentially deal with this Annihilate in both the front and in the back?
Yeah.
And also deal with everything else that's going on. So amazing to get that to that position. I love that. That's incredible.
I have an affinity for playing to weird end games that I probably shouldn't like that.
There's no fun if you're not making it crazy, right? Like,
I think
what's the
I'm
point?
just like this. I'm like, I think I can pull it off with this end game. His turtle can't do anything to my Annihilate, so I'm just gonna wait until the very end and just bust out the monkey, and then he can't touch me. But no, that was a cool one. I'm trying now that I'm looking back on the run, I'm just like, I remember things.
Yeah, it just
now
takes
that I'm
a little
looking
bit
at
of
the teams I played
reminding.
against, I remember these.
So
I feel. Is there anything on the San Antonio team you want to touch on before we? Anything that we missed that you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I mean, there's also, I had a friend do this at AIC where he ran something similar, but his Smeargle was fast. So you decorate going into Trick Room to throw people off. And I think people think that that's what this is more times than not.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, and they think it's a
That's why I
slower.
had to ask.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like,
They think it's a slower horse and a faster Smeargle, but it's not. It's the opposite, where it's immense speed Smeargle.
yeah, I feel like it makes more sense
Yeah,
because the main goal of the Smeargle is either the follow me or the fake out. The decorate is the extra icing
Yeah.
on the cake, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Literally.
and if you let me, that's the beautiful thing. Is just like I'm probably going to click fake out, turn 1, and trick room. If you let my Smeargle do that, I'm going to decorate my horse, and you're going to die next turn. You have to try to kill the Smeargle, but if you kill the Smeargle, you're going to be staring down a gigantic bear that's going to blood moon you into the ground. So it's like, how are you going to
With
play
4
this?
turns of trick room.
Yeah.
Like,
The only thing I really felt shaky on was like Calyrex, like CSR, Dozo, Wheezing stuff, and all those variants. It is so hard for me to win those games. Alex
those
and
are wacky teams.
they are. There's so many versions of it, but like Alex and I played it, and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna play the Dozo team. You play your team," and he just smoked me for like 3 or 4 games, 3 or 4 best ones. He's like, "All right, let's switch. You're gonna play the Dozo, and I'm gonna play the horse team." So then we swapped, and I just smoked him for like 3 or 4 games. We're like, "All right, well, let's not run into this." And then I got lucky enough. I didn't run into that. I didn't run into any Zama, even though I was ready for it. I had a weird horse run. Like, I think I had, yeah, there was Ice Horse, Shadow Horse, Whale, Groudon.
Groudon.
My day started with like where I had both horses, then both whalers, and then horse, turtle, horse, horse. Like, I kind of got the roles I wanted for the most part. It would have been much better if I didn't have to see Kyogre and it didn't land every Opulse and it hit. Round 4 was wild, dude. Like, Littleroot is kind of scary, no lie. Especially since I'm
Yeah,
terrible.
you beat the Psy Spam team, the Psy Spam Sun team.
But he never brought the Indeedee. It was weird.
Wild. Okay.
He hit every sleep pattern. Game 1, I just lost on the spot, and then games 2 and 3, he missed every single move. It's like Keyblades, Rock Slide. All he clicked was Keyblades and Rock Slide on a choice banded Groudon. Heat Wave on the Armarouge. Sleep Powder, Trip Bite. Every single move could miss. He missed a lot of them, and luckily, none of my moves missed. So like
that's always the side you want to be on, and
yes.
I personally feel his pain at my first ever tournament at Secaucus Regionals in 22. I ran Reshidon, I ran Reshiram and Groudon with a Venusaur.
Wow.
And the amount of times that I texted in our group chat afterwards, and I was like, "Guess who lost because he missed a Leaf Storm? Guess who lost because he missed a Sleep Powder? Guess who lost because he missed a Precipice Blades?"
Never. I never got those messages.
Oh no, I can guarantee you did.
We can resend.
But yeah. You know what? Yeah, we could totally make this happen again. It happens to me all the time. I still use Chi-Yu every once in a while. So
yeah. No, I mean, that's the life of it, man. I'm used to it. Like my Belly Bolt team, which is like my favorite team ever, probably. Like every single mon,
go to team.
Every single mon
Go
had
to
an
with the
inaccurate
sauce.
move. Every single one, and I navigated it really well, and it didn't feel bad.
It's calculated risk.
Yeah.
Yep. It is. How much risk am I willing to take to try to get to an inboard where I can win?
I respect it. I still click outrage. I've seen what that can do to other people. I've seen what it does to me. I've had it go into parry types more than a few times. So,
a little bit of my soul left my body every time I clicked Magma Storm with my Heat Train. I'll tell you that much. Like every time I click that button, I'm like, I know I need to click this thing, man. But God,
there was
oh gosh.
Very early in the format where it was introduced, I was playing a singles inspired Heat Train set with like sub Magma Storm. And dude, it was very bad. I want to be very blunt about that. It was not good. But when it worked, it was so funny because people just don't expect like Magma Storm and getting trapped in like, doubles.
Wait, didn't mine have? I think mine had. I think mine was sub body press.
Yours was definitely sub body press
I'm
and
pretty
iron
sure.
defense
I got looked.
and
It's been
magma
so long.
storm.
The
I'm
team is
pretty
so
sure
sick.
it was that 4. Yeah. Uh,
It wasn't sub. It was Magma Storm, Body Press, Iron Defense, Heavy Slam for Fluttermane.
heavy slam.
That's what it was.
Okay.
I think I had body sub on there for a period of time. But
Yeah.
that's that.
I was miffed that it wasn't Orthworm, but I understood
Yes,
after the fact, after I ranted on the podcast.
you did. You did.
And I'm
We've
sorry
been.
about that, Bruno.
It's to be fair.
I'm apologizing on air.
No, you're good. To be fair, this was not my team. This was a team that David Kutesh sent me
The GOAT.
before Worlds. This was a Reg D team. He sent me before Worlds, like a month before. He's like, "This is kind of cool," and then he like didn't bring it to Worlds, and I was just like, "Whatever, I'll play with it. This is so much fun." And then I played a local with it in Reg, but like with 2 other pieces, and this one guy was really good player. Went to the Carolinas, and she was like, "Oh, this is sick." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Kutesh team." Tweet. He goes, "Yo, can I test?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I'm not doing anything with it. I sent him the original paste, and he played it for USPA for like I think their team is like winning in for the playoffs or something to clinch. Like he clinched it with that team. I'm like, "Holy crap, dude! What paste did you use?" He goes, "The one you sent me." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Seriously?" He goes,
What do
"Yeah."
you mean?
Yeah.
So he was even better in Reg F. So then I'm like, all right, no way. So I tested it out for like a week, and I was just smoking people on ladder. I brought it to a local, won my very first local with it, and I brought it to Orlando and did mediocre. But that's not the story.
It's not the point. Everything else leading up to it is.
There's so many weird
That's
things about this team, man. Have I ever sent you the paste?
yeah. We definitely looked over it on the podcast, but can you send it? I don't. We definitely didn't see the EVs or anything like that. I mean, I would
Yeah,
love to
hold
see
on.
it,
You
and
gotta see
I
these
want to see it on the
spreads.
screen
These spreads are so
because
dumb.
yeah, I wanna talk about it. I know we talked afterwards after the podcast. You were like, "Oh, yeah, this was a Kutesh team, you know." And
I
and
love that
after
dude.
that, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna close my mouth. The goat is talking. I need to."
I love David Kutev so much.
I got nothing but respect for the Orthworm goat.
He started
And
the whole revolution.
he did, and then he tweeted at me after I won on stream. It was wonderful. It was
That's awesome.
highlight of my life. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I have to pull this up so I can look at it.
Okay, I'm looking. Oh my gosh, the belly bolts of 204 defense. You're just like, I'm just gonna eat it all.
4
Dude.
attack, 52 special defense or special
212,
attack.
212 special defense iron bundle. So are we booster special defense then on bundle, or are we still booster speed?
It should be booster speed, right?
It's speed, yeah.
It is speed. Okay.
My win against my buddy at the local, he led. What did he do? He led. Okay, so I think I led bundle belly bolt, or no, I led bundle Obama snow or something, and he close. Oh no, what was it? No, he brought Rillaboom, and he wood hammered into my iron bundle. I hit Aurora Veil. He wood hammered into my iron bundle. I lived on 6 HP because I knew that I would, and I double blizzard without Aurora Veil. Yeah. I didn't get Aurora Veil. I knew I'd live on 6 HP because I knew he was 116 adamant. I knew I would live it, and then it's so stupid. So I'm double blizzard. Get rid of it.
I love this.
He sends in an Urshifu, an Aqua, and then with the grassy train I get back. He Aqua Jets my iron bundle. Doesn't KO it. I live on 3. And I freeze dry it. And then he Aqua Jets it again, and I'm just like, nah, you're not taking this thing out, man. Like
What are you doing?
This is my bulky bundle. Like, I know what this thing does.
Ain't that snow boost just a thing?
So funny, man.
So much. There's so many weird things in here, like Woodhammer on Obama Snow can Oko Frail Fluttermanes.
That's smart. The ice shard.
Picks
So
them off. Yeah.
when it
Obama
comes
Snow.
to like positioning the Ting Lu, obviously everything here just about is mixed outside of the iron bundle, but like, you know, obviously dropping your partner's special attack isn't ideal when you have like your Belly Bolt or your Abomasnow or your bundle on the field. So like, how would you go about navigating that if you remember? I know this was quite a while ago.
Every single time I saw a Torn Ogre, I would lead Belly Bolt Tinglu. Every single time. And
You're just like, I'm gonna eat this.
I would Ruination into the Torniness. And I click Parabolic Charge. And if they want to hit my if they want to KO my Tinglu, I'll let them. I don't care. But they're not going to KO the Belly Bolt. They can't. And what's fun is if you pull up Nerd of Now, my Belly Bolts is one of the default Belly Bolts spreads in the calc. And you can calc it all you want for like Terra Water in this rain.
That's so funny.
Helping hand boosted. That's why he's our GOAT.
Yeah,
right?
and then
this is why he's our guy.
They would every single person would always Terra Water Surging Strikes in the Belly Bolt. I eat it in the rain, and then I Parabolic Charge, and I just take both of your lives and get back to 100%.
Absorb all that health.
Mm-hmm.
And
even with Tinglu,
you don't need to invest into that special attack because you're getting the Electromorphosis boosts. So how does that work with Surging Strikes? Like, that's a very niche interaction. You don't get 3 separate boosts. It's just one blanket boost, right?
Yeah, as long as you're hit, you get the double boost. You can hit me 5 times. You can pop bomb me, or you can hit me 1 time. It doesn't matter. As long as I proc Electromorphosis, the next electric move is going to be doubled.
Okay.
I did not realize Parabolic Charge was a Gen 6 move.
What?
I legitimately thought this was Belly Bolt's signature move. I didn't
know
it got it through. I thought it got it through level up.
This is Heliolisk's signature move.
Heliolisk into Dene.
Yeah. No. I only know that because I used Heliolisk on my Riolu Sun team. Bringing it back. That's what we call a callback, baby. Hell yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, it learns it by breeding. It doesn't even learn it by level up in this game.
I knew that. What's crazy is Miraidon gets it too, and some people have explored with Miraidon with treads next to it.
That was something I saw. I think maybe like the first week of when we first got like the Regulation G announcement. People were running like the Parabolic Charge, Assault Vest Miraidon with treads and stuff. It was really weird and not that great. But that you would much rather be clicking Electro Drift and just scorching Pokemon's faces off with that. But the healing on a Pokemon like Belly Bolts, when you're investing this much into its defenses and its bulk, and you have your Aurora Veil on top of it, like the longevity here is absurd, and
he never dies.
Fast Aurora Veil with the bundle is amazing too. I love it.
And this team. What was even more fun too is like every now and then somebody would have like a little bit bulky Urshifu and it wouldn't die to the Parabolic Charge with Tinglu next to me. It would live on like 3 HP, so I just Sucker Punch it, and then nobody people just forget the Belly Bolt had Sucker Punch, and it would just drop to the Belly Bolt Sucker Punch doing 5% damage.
You have like a lot of. Well, it's really the Belly Bolt and the Abomasnow. They each have like that priority move on it, which I think is a really nice,
so funny,
idea too. Because so many of these Pokemon, I feel like, are, especially when you're investing so heavily in their bulk, are going to be missing out on those KOs, those crucial ones. So then having that move to just pick them off very quickly afterwards is it's such a nice option to have. Yeah, this team's awesome. I love it.
It might be my favorite team of all time. I have the cards hanging up on the wall from it. Like, I love this team so much. I will talk about it anytime somebody wants to. It looks so whack, but it's so
it is beyond wild. When you just like see this on paper, you're like, what the actual hell is this team doing?
I also hate Abomasnow Iron Bundle Blizzard spam. I played it in Knoxville. And it made me so sad afterwards. Not only did it freeze everything, but it was not a good time. My team had a terrible matchup into that core, that archetype. Love it.
I am praying we bring back Reg F one more time, like we did for like Reg G. it's like to stall or whatever. Like, I just want to play this one more go. I want one more run with this team. I don't care if I win or lose. I just need to bring it back. It's my favorite team of all time.
Well, when Scarlet and Violet is closing out and we do our Littleroot Gauntlet or whatever, we know who we're calling for Egg F. This is what it
Easy.
sounds like.
I will bring this. I don't care. I don't care if I lose.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and start building a team to counter this, since we are, he gave me the full set. That's on him.
Yeah, no, we can figure this out.
I don't know. Why do you think I have Jay doing the hard work?
Choice Scarf Chi-Yu and Choice Scarf Urshifu.
Hey, Bruno, quick question. What was this team's bad matchups? No particular reason.
I don't know. We've never found one.
Didn't find one. They don't exist. Let's go and look back in Orlando. Let's see what teams he lost. We'll pick one of those. We'll figure one of those
out in Orlando. That was horrible. It was my round one. It was like Screens, Grim, Snarl. It was like just all bulky crap that I just could not break. Because my team's so tanky that, like, if you can out tank my team, it's like, oh, I just lose.
So are you staying to the big stall guys? The big stall might be a good idea.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm putting up more Orlando run. I can this team now.
Note is not taken. Yes, please pull up the run. I want to know.
Yeah. So, no. This is also like a team that doesn't exist here. It was Ogre Pond Water, whatever. Flying Solvus Okidogi, which was kind of annoying. All behind Light. There's also Light Clay Grimmsnarl. So, like, yeah, you get screens and then even more. Terra found out that Terra Dragon Citrus Goldango behind screens was a pain in the butt because that's what they had.
Ooh.
They had Sub Lando, and then they had Cherry Fairy, Choice Band, Arcanine, but I don't think they brought that. I think they bodied me with like Okidogi, Goldango, and Grimmsnarl. I'm just like, oh, I can't do anything.
Yeah,
this team looks an awful lot like a team that Carl would play.
The Belly Bolt team?
Believe...
Or the
Grimmsnarl,
the Okidogi team?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Carl has played...
He's definitely played Grim Okidogi over Pond Water. I know that for a fact. So, we got people.
I
have a team. I have an expert. Don't worry.
It's okay.
We've got a guy.
That's cool. I might be sick that weekend. We'll see.
So I just kind of I guess we're getting to the end here. Don't want to take up your entire evening. What's the plan for the rest of the season? What do we got on the schedule to where are people going to find you?
I got EUIC in 3 weeks, roughly.
It's going to London, bro.
Yeah, I've never been. Honestly, I'm more to go to London than I am to actually play, I think.
I'm so super jealous.
In London. I'm a huge Beatles fan. Like, I love Arsenal football. Like, there's so many things. Man. So I'm gonna have fun in London.
Me and you won't get along.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm a United fan, so it's all right. We're trash. It's all good.
I wasn't gonna say it.
But since you did, hold on.
I'll accept it. All right. That's the one thing about being a United fan is that I'll say that we are.
We're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So
yes, sir.
Accept it. That's just my life as a sports fan.
No, I'm so jealous. That obviously I would also love to go to England. My stepdad is actually from London, so
nice.
It's another reason why I would love to go there. So I hope you enjoy that. You go on any other? I assume that you're probably going to be found. Atlanta didn't happen yet. Did it happen?
No, it's April.
Okay.
I'll be there. I guess I'll go.
Probably, maybe swing around the corner, maybe.
I know we have Yucatan next weekend, right? And then
oh no, my brain doesn't.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Until UIC.
Yeah, I think we have Mexico, and then we have Puerto Rico, and then EUIC.
Yeah. That seems right.
There is nothing within traveling distance for me, so my brain has been turned off.
Jay, you're telling me you can't just drive down to Puerto Rico?
I would think that might be a little difficult.
There's
For
a
a couple
logistical
different
issue in there
reasons.
somewhere. Yeah.
You know, we do we have water cars yet? Are those like
Yeah.
Those are called boats, Jay.
those are called boats?
No, there's amphibian cars. That's a thing.
There are like there's like one or two brands, right? Like there's some
Amphibian cars. That's actually a thing.
yeah. It's like I remember seeing it a while ago. I can't.
Yeah, I mean
You can
they
do amphibious
definitely
cars.
exist.
Are they cool looking?
There's no.
I
I look up.
mean,
Okay,
when they're half submerged, they look kind of cool.
another classic Google being Google thing. I looked up amphibious cars, and like on their from sources across the web, the one of them on here is sea lions, the animal.
Just ride one of those. They're cheap.
Yeah, yeah. I'll head down. Yeah.
The old Puerto Rico special event. Yeah. Easy to get to. But no, I'll be in Atlanta. I'm debate. I guess I probably can't get into Vancouver. I'm pretty much taking March off. I'm doing USC, taking March off. I'll be in Atlanta. I have to go to Atlanta. It's 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, it's
There's no reason not to.
I'm kind of one of the figureheads of the Georgia scene. Like I gotta kind of go. It's the whole thing. Like
it's such a major inconvenience for him to just show up.
See,
Imagine being important to people.
Here's the thing. If it wasn't Red G, I'd be like, yeah, I am there.
I understand.
I'm doing USC because I want to go to London and I want to like see my European friends I've never met in person, and I want to go like cross Abbey Road and do all this stuff. Like
you want to be the typical American tourist
experience.
I'm going there a couple of days early to do touristy stuff. 100%. And then like Atlanta, just like man, fine.
I guess my weekend off is not a weekend off anymore. Dang.
Guess I'll go. Yeah.
Guess I have to go and sit in an uncomfortable chair for like 10 hours.
The question is now, like, do I actually? I'm thinking about getting an
Airbnb,
a hotel downtown. I'm 45 minutes away, but I know that I
would recommend it.
I know that if I stay in my bed, I will stay in my bed.
100%.
I know.
Yeah, I hear you.
That I'll sleep in.
I stayed outside of Secaucus. I stayed out in Queens to stay. And, you know, in reality, the drive it's not that far in terms of miles. Time-wise, it was a lot more. New York City is a pain in the ass, and so is Atlanta. I could, driving down there. I wanted to go back on Sunday. I physically could not do it. I skipped Championship Sunday. That whole big experience. It was too much driving.
Yeah.
So I know the cost is definitely something to think about when it comes to that stuff, but like it's so worth it in the long run. It can make your weekend so much more enjoyable. Yeah.
Well, the great thing is like I'm not paying for a flight or anything. I'm just like, I'm gonna spend $20 on gas. Sure.
Airbnbs are also significantly less expensive than hotels, is what I've learned too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I also have like enough friends too that all are downtown. I could just sleep on their couch and Uber if I had to. Like,
true.
It's not the end of the world. It's a lot. I hate how convenient it is.
You're like, I wish that there was some reason for me not to go to this thing. Dang it!
I still hang out with people I know and I see and I like. Such a major inconvenience.
All the Georgia people who see this and see Bruno there in a couple weeks.
Just know he doesn't want to be there.
He did this for you guys.
I see you guys too much. I see you guys too much. The Carolina guys, I see you guys too much. We're good. We're all inconvenienced now. I feel like this is like some Larry David thing where it's like, it's just too inconveniencing. I'm not about this life now.
It is too convenient for me to be here, so I don't want to be.
I genuinely understand because, like, I think to myself, this is way too good to be true sometimes. Like, I'm like, I convince myself that this is why I shouldn't go. Like, things just lined up too well for this. Like, I shouldn't go to this thing. Like, there's obviously the shoe is going to drop at some point, right?
Something is going to go wrong.
what kind of sucks about the Atlanta Regional is that like where the venue is, it's right next to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and State Farm Arena, right, where
Mhm.
the Hawks and the Falcons play all the stuff, and there's a whole bunch of hotels, and there's some fun things to do there, but it's not really the best. Everything you want to do is like 10 minutes east across the interstate. So it's like the scene and the food, like all the fun stuff is like a $20 Uber that way. Like
Yeah,
it's not going to be a fair representation of the city if you just like kind of hang out by your hotel. You kind of got to
that
explore the fun places.
that's a difficult position for it. Like
Yeah.
That's why you just find a local guy who knows everything. And
it was.
see, you're really doing the people a service by being there, Matt. That's
Yeah,
the
this
thing.
is a PSA. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of the game. I'm trying to temper expectations now. So when you get here, like,
Yeah.
oh, there's no food, there's no culture. It's like there is. It's just that way. Like
You have to go
it's
find it, and that's a major inconvenience.
yeah, it's like yeah, we're just whatever. You can just hang out here and then go see Usher at the State Farm. It's whatever. Like
the food
Is that
down,
like the same weekend
down
or
south
something? Or are you
is
just throwing that out
incredible
there?
too.
probably. I mean, he's an Atlanta guy.
If you go watch Atlanta United play, I'm sure they'll be doing something.
Honest to God, that's pretty lit.
Yeah, at the Benz, they get hype in there. So
dude, I've gone to
yeah,
one, and it's still MLS, so it feels like it's watching like high school football, where I'm just like, it's still football, but like
the
it's still
fans are crazy there too. Like Atlanta's one of those fan bases since they were like the expansion teams have these crazy fan bases. They
we
actually
actually
have
love it
some.
and care about it here. It's a whole thing. We
Yeah.
like it more than the Hawks. We don't care about basketball. Like we actually like soccer here, but no, it's super hype. It's super freaking hype. And that stadium is huge for soccer anyway.
Gorgeous.
So like,
yeah.
it's one of the best stadiums in America.
What is it? 75,000
Something
seating?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
something
seems about
ridiculous.
right. 70,000. I think 75 is like Cowboy Stadium. I think we're at like 60 or 70 or something.
I just know
sick.
that one's one of the largest seated ones. It's so huge, and yeah. So if there's anything going on there, go check that out.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be concerts and all that stuff across the city. Like it's going to be lit. I'm excited to have you know what I'm waiting for, honestly, which probably the thing that I'm most stoked about is seeing people navigate the airport, because our airport is massive and it's a labyrinth. I'm waiting for Twitter that day to be like,
So
I can't get out of this thing.
Where the hell am I? What is going on?
When we went to Knoxville, Manny on his way home actually had to transfer at the Atlanta airport. It was updating us on his way between his different locations and how hard it was to navigate through it.
Oh, it's insane.
I mean, I've personally never seen it, but I can only imagine from what I've heard. So
I'm pretty sure it's the biggest airport in America.
That's insane.
Hold on, like the stats
I would feel
crazy.
like that or JFK. Like JFK is pretty big too, so that would be. I mean, I have New Yorker brain though too, so I could be completely wrong.
I'm looking things up here. Biggest airports in the world.
Denver is the biggest in U.S.
Denver is
Really?
It says on Google.
3. We're number 3.
Top 10 biggest: Denver, Dallas, Orlando.
Denver is physically
Washington.
big, but they also have that underground thing where all like the lizard people live and stuff. So have you seen this?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Dude, there's actual conspiracy theory about the Denver airport. Like, before we're done, Google this. I'm not even getting into it. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but it's freaking hilarious.
Shut him off! The government's gonna shut us down.
Yeah, y'all are gonna get this taken down now. I'm speaking too much truth.
He's out here spitting.
We're the busiest airport in the world as far as passenger traffic. We're the third biggest as far as actual passenger traffic.
This is a Reddit
What was
post.
1 and 2? If you have that pulled up by any chance.
Dude, Google Denver Airport.
Yes, I did.
The
I found
results are Denver Airport rental cars, Denver Airport conspiracy.
I looked up Denver Airport lizard people, and the second link is a Reddit post that says, "Today I learned Denver locals believe their airport is satanic and home to the Illuminati."
Crazy stuff.
What?
Once for a concert, I flew into Denver to go see one of my favorite bands at Red Rocks, and I was just like, "Oh, this airport's weird." And then I started like googling. I'm like, "Oh, these people think there's crazy stuff happening here. This is awesome."
There's a lot of crazy stuff in Denver. They've been well ahead of the psychiatric game or the psychoactive game. I apologize. Wrong word.
There's even a section on their Wikipedia page for their airport that says conspiracy theories.
This is a Pokemon podcast.
It used to be.
This is now a Denver
This is
airport
now a
Illuminati.
conspiracy
Specifically
theories.
about the Denver airport, yes.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Conspiracy Theories. I'm your host, Jay, and this week we're going to be talking about the Denver airport.
Dog, this is a podcast I would listen to, so...
It probably is on Spotify. I know there's a podcast I listened to called Conspiracy Theories where they would talk about this stuff.
Denver airport
I don't know
episode. They 100% do.
They have to. Like,
people have noted apparent markings that are supposed to represent alien or secret languages.
Oh my God!
The markings are actually Navajo language characters and identifiers for the airport artists.
What's great is that anybody who's made it this far into the podcast, they're just like, "Oh, hold on, this is actual good stuff." All that Pokemon stuff before was all
get that shit out of here.
This is what we're really here for. The real listeners. This is what they're here for. It's the end of the podcast, always.
Dude, the end of the podcast goes so hard every week, and this is just like a new high.
It's like SNL, where like if you ever watch SNL, the last skit of the night is the weirdest shit they've ever put on TV every single week.
I was gonna message Carter before this podcast because he has a running joke when Angelo's not on, that the podcasts are for Daddy. I was gonna message him and say that this podcast tonight is gonna be for Super Daddy because all three of us are on. Except this time the Super Daddy is the amphibian Illuminati members underneath the Denver airport. So shout out to Super Daddy for this episode being incredible, and shout out to Bruno as well.
I want to reiterate, I do not believe in these conspiracy theories. I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist. This is just the craziest thing I've heard about an airport.
Yeah, but you brought it to my attention, so...
This needs to be known. The people need to hear it.
Going there, like, down this rabbit hole like I have before. I can't do this alone. It's too stupid.
Listen, I'm not saying I believe it, but I also need everybody to be completely invested in it. Speaking of, I'm going to get on something that I need everybody to be completely invested in that I figured out about today, and that is the League of Pigs pig racing. Do you guys know about this?
What?
Do you know about this?
What are you talking about?
So, this British guy, for 11 seasons, has these pet pigs, and he creates these elaborate races for them to run with each other, for them to go out and exercise and have fun, and they run and they get food.
This guy has 122,000 subs on YouTube.
He commentates over it. He has all these graphics and these people making music for it. And me and Alex, we sat here and watched it. I'm telling you, my jaw was on the floor. I was getting emotional watching it. I am in love with these pigs, man.
So to be fair, you said pigs. My brain heard pegs. So I'm like, are these like a bunch of people racing with peg legs? Like, this might be the greatest thing I could watch. And then you clarify that they're pigs. I'm just like, oh my God.
And then you heard me say, oh yeah, this British guy has them for pets, and he runs them around.
And then my brain said, oh, he said pigs.
You're like, what the heck?
That tracks. I can see that.
No.
What upsets me is this guy.
Way weirder.
what upsets me is that my brain went somewhere else when you said peg races, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
No, I thought it was just like a bunch of people dressed as pirates trying to like get to a finish line, like hobbling and stuff.
This guy has 100 times the number of subs we do, and that's what upsets me.
To be fair, you guys have never raced
it
pigs.
is
That's probably the
most-
problem.
You're
It
missing
is
out.
the most deserved subscribers. I do not understand how he does not have more than this. It is the Alex, she told me to put it on, and I clicked into it, and I was expecting to just watch for 5 seconds. I put the controller down, and I sat there with my mouth just on the floor. Like, it was the best 20 minutes of my life. Like,
Matt, when you agreed to do
Nothing
this,
better.
is this where you saw this episode going?
100%. I have notes here that I wrote down beforehand that said, mention Denver airport conspiracy theories. And I'm like, I'll work this in.
talking points: San Antonio team, Denver airport.
That's all it says. It's just like, talk about Smeargle, talk about Denver airport Illuminati murals.
Gosh,
Like,
yeah,
we'll get to that.
we got off the off
my
the
head
rails here.
hurts.
This ended in incredible fashion. Carl,
I'm
good
so
luck, have
sorry for
fun.
Carl having to edit this.
I'm not. He's learning a lot right now.
He's keeping all of
Yeah.
this in.
He took a day off last week. All right, like, come on.
He had his day off of
I
the
have
year.
He only just almost needed his tonsils taken out. It wasn't that big of a deal.
As far as I'm concerned. This whole thing's just been informative, mainly for him, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I learned a lot about myself. I feel like I learned a lot about us, and I think that all three of us, our friendship has bloomed. I know that you and I have not had the opportunity to speak in person all that often. I think maybe once or twice, but
we hung out in Knoxville together, didn't we?
That's where we first met.
Very briefly.
Were you part of
then
that group that went to dinner with us? It was like us and
Upstairs together. Yeah, it was like the game corner guy.
yes, yes,
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we've obviously talked on Discord and Twitter and stuff, talking about team building and all that stuff. So it was nice to sit down and
mainly
worms,
like shit talking
yes.
and just
mainly worms. Yeah.
Mainly worms. Yes, I know. We've.
What's great is like every regulation, I think I've come to you and been like, "Hey, hear me out. I think we can make it work."
Yeah, I know. You messaged me during Reg H, and I did not respond to you.
You did not.
I was not responding to anybody, and I still kind of am not responding to anybody. I'm not really playing all that much, to be honest, either.
It was specifically because
however,
you messaged him. He's just like,
I
can't do this tonight.
I did, however, go to a regional with Ro about like 3 months on, and I did bring Orthworm to it, and I went 2-3. My only losses were to Zhe Zhang, Zach Weed, and June Lintner. So I went. Yeah, I got a really nice run, and I still felt like I was in all 3 games. Like, the team was really fun. I was Orthworm, Gyarados, Volcarona. I can't really remember. Ninetales, Alola, and then a couple of other pieces. I can't remember who I had to sit behind the substitute. Garchomp. Garchomp was definitely there too. The team was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed sitting here and speaking with you tonight as well.
Man,
I appreciate you guys having me.
We didn't even get to talk about like the Malamar games and just like all the stuff you actually do for the community and all that stuff either. So it was just.
Well, we rambled too long about the Denver airport.
we were on the important things, all right?
Yeah,
like the stuff that people actually wanted to hear about.
Damn, what a shame. We'll have to have Bruno back on so we can talk to him again.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. That's such a terrible fate for all of us. Let's definitely do that. Yes, please.
Yeah.
I would love that. This was a lot of fun.
This was awesome. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Jay, you wanna? I know you did the intro. You wanna do the
Yeah.
outro too?
I'll do the outro as
Hell
well.
yeah, brother.
Thank you all so much for watching. Let us know in the comments down below if you guys believe that the Denver airport is actually being filled with amphibious people and Illuminati, members and all this other random stuff, and what other crazy conspiracies you
Yes.
think about.
I need
Yeah.
people
When
to
we
just post
don't
the
have a
wild
tournament
conspiracy
weekend.
theories so I can go
Yeah,
into a deep rabbit hole on them this week.
In the comments, post your favorite conspiracy theory. Bonus points if it's about the Denver airport.
Yes, please. And when
Next
when you
week
put all of them in there,
we'll be doing a tier list over all the comments posted.
next
please
time
have
we
me.
don't have a tournament, let's have Bruno back on and let's do it. Let's do a tier list, conspiracy theorist tier list.
Please, I want in on the conspiracy theory tier list.
So also comment down below and let Carl know that we should have this. We should do this. Let this happen.
Yeah.
And like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Come and join the community Discord where we can actually discuss this stuff and talk about it. We have places we can talk about weird things like this.
Can we make a conspiracy theory channel in the Discord?
If it starts popping off, I will.
I would
That's
be
going to after this one. Anybody who's made it this far needs it.
And then
Sorry.
No,
no, that I love it.
So
I love
hot
it.
in here.
And then the blue sky at Littleroot Lessons. Bruno, please, any tags that you want to drop, any shout outs that you got.
No, I'm on Twitter too, I guess. It's easy. Just spell my name incorrectly. You'll find me.
Yeah, it is BRUEA.
Nope.
NEAUX. I forgot about the N. I'm dumb.
You forgot about the N in Bruno.
Listen. We don't talk about him. All right, it's back to the beginning, guys. All right, this is.
I don't think any of that made it in the episode. So,
well, for us, this has been a full circle moment and a full circle moment for the podcast as well. And make sure you guys go and check out the Discord supporters links and the Patreon supporters links as well. That's been the podcast. Thank you, Bruno, for coming on.
Appreciate
Thank
you guys.
Matt Bruno for being on.
Oh, government name.
Government name. He asked for us to call him by his first name, so I did it.
Fair enough.
I caught myself. And thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Peace out.